What's the motherfucking deal? Yes, make sure y'all go check out that StaySaucy.com, even though that shit wasn't supposed to pop up right then, but y'all seen that shit, so go check that shit out. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network, so that means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. So, tonight, NFL has come back to America. All that preseason, pregame, preview bullshit is finally over with. And man, we got real live action to get into. So welcome to Sauce Sports. I am your host, Ed Honcho. And with me, I have the Texans Tubers Roundtable. So I want to know who we got shaking this evening joining us in the roundtable tonight. We got muted, Braylon.
Here we go again.
Bro. Hey, bro, leave me alone, bro, because I ain't been on in a couple days. I've been busy, my schedule been fucked up, but leave me alone. It's your boy, breaking news, breaking weather, breaking lightning, whatever you want to fucking call me. I don't care if you call me breaking wind. Still, I'm here. Breaking news, break is in the building.
You got your boy Hector Flores in the mix.
It's Toxic City Tinny, repping that U of H of Clear Lake with Braylon.
You got your boy Wise working harder than your average national media out here.
Hey, you got your boy Third Coast Sports TV.
And you got the most throatest person you'll ever meet, your boy Spence in the mix.
Already. So throw, no fugazi, only throw. But what's the motherfucking deal? I'm excited, man. I'm feeling. I mean, it's like I don't really care about tonight's game. You know, I mean, we're just a step closer to what really counts. But before we talk about any of that shit, we got to talk about the most important thing happening in the city of Houston right now, and that's Sauce for the fucking nation. So we're gonna get that motherfucking me roll call action going. Okay, and if you don't know about the Sauce Nation roll call, man, hey, all you got to do is shout out your side with pride if you are from the greater Houston area, the city of Houston. If you're not from the city, then, hey, we're still going to show you a little bit of that digital computer love. All you got to do is let us know what it's in. So we're going to hop in the chat real quick. We're going to see who we got in the mix. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to send a little bit of love. And then we're going to get into some news, what's kind of shaking around. We're going to kind of get all around the NFL tonight because there's a lot of interesting news that could possibly have an impact on the Texans, so we got to make sure that we discuss it. Miss Voodoo C, DeMarcus Johnson, Got the Juice, Darren Davis, Wink in the chat and holding down the sauce. Chase King, Jack Tripper, motherfucking Pimp, Three's Company, Ask Mel by the Putter, what's the motherfucking deal? Voodoo Child, that completes the best moderating couple in all the land. Jay Dizzle, what's the motherfucking deal from the land of the trio? Let's see, Darren Williams, the nigga who could, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Berkeley Boss, what's the motherfucking deal? Heidi, what's the motherfucking deal? Steve J, Clutch Gaming, what's the motherfucking deal? Devontae Love, White Persuasion, what's the motherfucking deal? David Pritchett, holding it down. Shout out to Texas Palace. Joshua Jaja, what's the motherfucking deal? OB Highlights, always good to see you. What's the motherfucking deal? 335, representing the slum where they don't want none. Man, MC Slayton, what's the motherfucking deal? DW4 Texans, Tom Ball in the house, H-Town in the house, UK, eating fucking tea and crumpets and shit in the house already. Second Ward in the motherfucking house, Broderick Brooks, Rob San Miguel, what's the motherfucking deal? And Chicken Burger Braylon. Man, low and slow 78. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Rafael Hernandez, Leonard Avery. What's the motherfucking deal? No Fly Zone. What's the motherfucking deal? I ain't forgot about you, man. Look. We gonna get to it. Sometimes I be overlooking. I be going too fast. I'm gonna make sure I get y'all. But man, T-Mac 34. What's the motherfucking deal? We got plenty to talk about though. And we're gonna make sure that's a very odd thing. And we're going to make sure we're going to keep y'all entertained while this delay is going on and all that other good shit. So first and foremost, we'll talk about a small topic involving the Texans and the motherfucking Patriots. Now, I know we all looking forward to that game. And we mentioned kind of earlier in the week that they were entertaining a visit from Steven Anderson. And it turns out that the Patriots have signed one Steven Anderson. Now, I don't know the terms. I don't know, any of that. But I have my thoughts on it. But first, we'll start off with the round table and their thoughts on it. And then we will I'll splash a little bit of sauce on that. So starting with breaking news, Bray. What are your thoughts on the Steven Anderson to the Patriots? Is this a move that the Patriots need more talent, or is this a move to try to get a little inside intel on the Texans playbook? What are your thoughts on that?
This is one of those Patriots signings where they're going to cheat their way through this because they know they can't beat us. Because they know that they scared of Deshaun Watson and D. Hopkins and JJ and Clowney. They know they terrified. But from what my sources have come, which is the great Pat D. Stat, he says that this is a sign in that if they try to get some info on them, it won't work because apparently Steven Anderson was kind of brain dead a bit at times, IQ-wise. That's what the rumor is a bit. So, with that being known, they about to get some useless information.
You trying to say that nigga was slow?
I wouldn't say he was slow. I wouldn't say he was slow. I'm just saying that the rumor was that he couldn't handle himself in the tight ends room and the whiteboard, and that was the biggest reason why they didn't want him on the field a bit. And now it's pouring rain in Philadelphia. Just saying.
Hector, your thoughts on the Steven Anderson situation? Is it a cause for concern, or did the Patriots just have a little bit of money to burn? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, Anderson could bring you some value. I mean, he's not completely he's a pretty good tight end. I mean, he's a little bit undersized. I'm sure Bill Belichick has his reasoning behind bringing him in. But I mean, at the end of it all, it's still Gronk's show. So I think it's just for them to bring somebody else in.
Okay, Tenny, your thoughts on Steven Anderson, now a Patriot?
Man, Steven Anderson, I mean, he just got signed today. He's not playing Sunday. And quite honestly, like, if you trying to get him for intelligence, like, he wasn't even part of the game plan. Like, they knew they were going to cut him. He was not part of the game plan. He does not know what they were going to try to do against the Patriots. It's pretty obvious that they just picked him up because of his hands. Now, they do need more sure-handed receivers outside of Gronk and outside of Edelman. And I think that's what they're going for right there, because they can't really trust Hogan too much. You can't trust Patterson too much. You can't trust anybody else really too much that they got. They got a running back by committee. This is just the Patriots trying to find system guys that fill in those spots.
Steven Anderson in a system situation. Now, rumor has it's just to the practice squad. I appreciate that, Voodoo Child. So with it being just a practice squad pickup, it definitely won't cause any waves if they cut him immediately after the game. It won't look as suspect. Oh, he just wasn't talented enough for our squad. But Wise, your thoughts on the Patriots picking up Steven Anderson, and will that be of any benefit to him?
I mean, it could be a benefit later down the road if Tom Brady uses him right. Bill O'Brien doesn't use a couple of players right. Steven Anderson is one I thought he didn't give a chance to. He didn't give him the opportunity. I went to the training camp. I didn't even see Steven Anderson get any reps. I was kind of sad, and that day I knew Steven Anderson was going to get cut from this team. I seen the rookies beat him in the locker room. He was walking back to the locker room. He was the last guy. He felt like he didn't have no energy on this team anymore. So he's a guy that's a good receiving tight end. He's a guy that has a slender frame. So I believe he can do some works in the Patriots system, especially in Bill Belichick's offense with Josh McDaniels. But I don't think he can make an impact for this upcoming game because he won't play. He's just getting there. And if he's on the practice squad, it's just, I don't know. The Patriots be doing some cheating ass shit, and they get away with it, and it's kind of sad.
All right, and if he's anything like Braylon says, if he can't even, he can't find his accord on the whiteboard, and they wasted a little bit of change, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, like I said, I like Steven Anderson. I like what he brought to the team, so hopefully he does find him a home where he can thrive and find a little bit of success. I don't see him beating out Gronk anytime soon, but hey, who knows? You never know. Wink, your thoughts on Steven Anderson going to the Patriots? What is the ultimate premise behind it?
They know talent when they see it. So obviously they have some really good scouts. So and plus, they kind of have a conduit to the Texans anyway by having so many connections here with the franchise. So they've seen Steven Anderson in seasons prior. They know what Steven Anderson can do. They played against Steven Anderson and they know he can make some big plays. All they have to do is watch some of his game film and they'll know he's a phenomenal talent once you get the ball to him. You can definitely trust him on third down, which is a major reason if he was to be elevated is probably why they brought him on this football team. You can't trust Gronk for a full season to stay healthy. So you're going to need somebody eventually to come take the mantle or learn, enough in time and show enough in practice as, to where you can make an impact on the field. Like why I said it's unfortunate, what happened to him here in Houston, but I do still wish him the best. I'll continue to stay watching, what he has going on in his career, him and Tristan Deku. Even though he is a Cowboys fan, I still want to know what's going on with those couple of guys because honestly, they didn't get a fair shake at all, due to circumstances for whatever reasons that Bill O'Brien or the coaching staff didn't want to put him in this game plan and have him on this football team as it stands right now. So that's my little take on it, and yeah.
Spitz, your thoughts on, the Steven Anderson situation. And before you addressed it, I saw Darren say, that he'll get more of a shot there than he would here. I don't know, man. I won't say he says a fair assessment. I would kind of say yeah and no at the same time because, one, you got to look at the quarterback situation that we had. Again, if he gets a chance to play with Brady, of course he'll thrive. Brady turns nothings into somethings. And so even if, he wasn't properly utilized here, I think he'll just have a better overall situation because he'll be playing with a real quarterback. He didn't really get a chance to get to click very much with Deshaun Watson before he went down. So I guess you could say it is a fair assessment, but at the same time, I think it's just a different set of circumstances. But Spitz, your thoughts on Steven Anderson going to the Patriots, and what do you think the ultimate outcome will be with that?
He's only signed for intel and information for this week. He will not be a Patriot this time next week. He will be, especially since he's signed strictly to the practice squad. They're not going to activate him unless something happens, like somebody goes down. They need, like somebody else goes down, and they decide to need some hands later on in the season. But don't read too much into this. It's just trying to pick up to get some intel on what Deshaun looks like. It might not even be a game plan situation. Is Deshaun really Deshaun? Like that's probably their biggest fear right now. Is Deshaun really playing like the guy that we seen 6 games last year?
One quick point I want to make. It's a tactic that Belichick could possibly use to throw Bill O'Brien off. But at the end of the day, if Bill O'Brien is using his is using his right mind and knowing what he knows, he should feel there's no way, okay, y'all got him. But if we couldn't make it work, how are y'all going to make it work? He could look at it like that, and the systems are pretty much the same. So verbiage and shit like that is going to end up being a little bit different, but it is, Tom Brady is throwing the ball and Belichick is the coach, so he could very well make Steven Anderson into a fucking superstar if he stays on this team.
And another point I wanted to make was, why wouldn't they choose Braxton Miller over Steven Anderson? So Braxton is still out there. That's a guy that played here for more years than Steven Anderson, and he's actually got playing time in his system. So if they really wanted information, then they should have went after Braxton Miller.
Okay, good point. Now, I'm looking around, and supposed to be a couple of guys that we haven't really had a chance to see this year so far, and some of them have been injured. Some of them recently got injured. But for the most part, it's looking like everybody is going to be healthy. K-Joe should be back, the GOAT. Merciless should be good to go. Of course, we know about Clowney. Of course, we know about Watt. They look good against the Rams. Kiki Kuti, believing he's supposed to be available. We'll start with Spitz and we'll work our way back. Of all the people who kind of have been dinged up, who we haven't seen a lot of action from, guys that got injured last year, who do you expect to have the most standout game when it comes up against the Patriots on Sunday?
Well, you talking about the GOAT is supposed to be back. If the GOAT has a good game, I'm like this. I'm like this.
Spider Mitchell.
but seriously though, I'm thinking I'm expecting a lot out of this pass rush and this defense, and I think that this defense will have a good game, especially out of the front seven. I think that the last 2 times we played the Patriots, we've been very aggressive with the defense when it comes to the pass rush, and we've harassed Brady. Part of the reason why we should have won that playoff game and why we should have won Week 3 last year. It's not just about Deshaun. We actually hit Brady. We got like 5 quarterback hits and 3 sacks against Brady last time. So I expect that this defense, because from what I'm seeing, from what I'm hearing, is that JJ is looking old form. So I expect a lot out of those guys, out of the JJs and the Merciless and the Christian Covingtons coming back out of that defense.
Let me at least have my volume on. So we're going to text the Sauceline real quick. And then we got, with Cornell back at the helm, do you think the Texans will get in Brady's head like the 2016 playoff games and make him pout to the refs? Thoughts on that? We'll definitely address that. And then, of course, man, shout out to my main man, Chandler, man, holding down. Say shout out to Honcho, Wink, Tenny, Hector News, Breaking News, Bray, Wise, Phoenix, Spitz, don't know anybody else's. Man, shout out to Chandler, man, always holding down the sauce, man. That's always love. And I see Joshua has sent an image, man. We ain't got nothing to say about Stephen A. You already know he's full of that tomfoolery and those shenanigans. If he really thinks that the Pats gonna win, hey, he's entitled to his opinion. So a lot of people gonna be wrong come Sunday afternoon. So it is what it is. But who do you think is going to have the best return performance of guys that were not available either early in the preseason or last year and shit? I mean, you would throw Romeo Cornell in that mix too because he wasn't available to us last year, and so that's definitely an asset that's going to benefit. Your thoughts on that one, Wink?
Whitney Merciless, hands down. Whitney Merciless been getting to this dude like a motherfucking, man, I don't know, like a flat of shit. Like he stayed on Brady ass. If nobody, Jadeveon Clowney gets to this man, but Whitney Merciless been getting to this man for years now. And it's so underrated, and he's so underrated that he's being overshadowed by J.J. Watt doing what he's doing in practice. He's had more than enough time to recoup, getting stronger. His technique is flawless. His bend off the edge is fucking probably the best in the league to me. And I'm not even being biased when we're talking about how somebody can get so low and flatten towards the fucking quarterback. You played DN. You played outside linebacker, Honcho. You can't tell me the way he flattens to the quarterback is not something marvelous to look at. Excellent. And it's just like watching how he's throwing dudes' hands off. And at the end of the day, what left or right tackle? Because he was doing this to Nate Solder, Cannon, and all of those guys the other years prior and made them look real shitty. They centers, their guards can't hold him. He has too much speed. He's big as shit. Like, nobody's going to be able to account for him this game. He's going to be a major factor on defense. And if they bring Duke in and they have Duke behind Clowney and they have Merciless behind, and if they have situations where they have Merciless behind White with DJ Reader and Covington in the middle, that's going to be ferocious, bro. And
definitely would agree that Merciless is definitely going to be a guy that you're going to have to attribute for. And just, I mean, again, to me, probably the most underrated Texan. I mean, when it comes to when we talk about all these guys, nobody gives Merciless his due. I mean, even though he's done it most consistently out of anybody. Wise, your thoughts on who's going to be the best return performance for the Texans coming up against this Patriots team?
Well, I'm going to go with a guy that we didn't see in the preseason, but he was healthy last season. He did miss a couple games last season. And I'm going to go with Will Fuller. This is a guy that had a nice connection with Deshaun Watson for a couple of games last season. This guy can get deep over the safeties, over the top of the safeties. This guy has speed. He improved his catching abilities. This guy has gained weight. He's gained muscle. He's got fast. He's became durable. And we have heard a lot of excitement about this guy. So I want to see what he can do this season. I want to see if that connection is rekindled with Deshaun Watson because we know it was special last season. And these guys had 6 touchdowns in the span of 3 games, right? I believe. So this connection can be very special. And Will Fuller can have a 1,000-yard season receiving. So I think this guy can make a huge impact this Sunday.
Okay, good shit, man. I'd like to see Will Fuller have a completely healthy season and really see what he can do, what type of dominant force he could be. Tenny, your thoughts, man. Who is going to be the biggest impact in this game that we didn't have a chance to utilize last year in the preseason this year?
Mr. Dylan Cole. Dylan Cole did not have a starting position on this team. He was not playing like right up there at the front of this defense. And I have a feeling that he is going to be one of the most utilized aspects of this defense. Outside of that pass rush, outside of what's going on, Dylan Cole, and then you can say coming in a close second is Cunningham, but I think Cunningham's going to draw different assignments. Cunningham's tall. He can get up there and he can jam up guys like Gronkowski. Now, that's for Sunday, and we'll wait to see on that one. But Dylan Cole is going to be very key in shutting down the New England Patriots. Want to get how they get their fucking running backs out there and how they do the little screen passes, little wheel routes and stuff like that. Dylan Cole is going to be key in that, and his big ass is fucking bigger than all them fucking running backs they got, and he's speedy too, so he'll keep pace with them, and I guarantee that Dylan Cole is going to leave his mark on this game.
And I absolutely agree with that, man. I don't think people really, truly, honestly appreciate how good Dylan Cole is. Again, he had a couple of games he missed from some injury. And again, a lot of people see him coming from a smaller football school, but Dylan Cole is a man child. So you definitely have to respect what he brings to the table. Hector, your thoughts? Cold world. Hector, your thoughts on who's going to be the guy, who's going to have the best performance of the guys who were unavailable for the Texans either earlier in the preseason or who missed a significant amount of time last year?
I'm going to bring up a person that wasn't with the Texans last year, but now he's with us, and that's Tyrann Mathieu. I think that this is somebody that, we've all been excited about, want to see him go out there and play, be the ball hawk that we hope that he is, and be that heavy hitter that we know that he can be. Plus, I think Romeo Crennel is going to have a lot of fun having a guy that's as versatile as he is. Even though he'll probably primarily be playing safety, Romeo Crennel is all about changing up formations and everything like that. So he's going to have a lot of fun using Honey Badger in this game.
Yeah, Honey Badger is definitely an asset. I mean, like I said, just when you really start thinking about it, there's a lot of fucking talent on this fucking defense. And if they get properly utilized, which we know Crennel will, that's not even a question, it's going to be – there's really nothing you can do to game plan for this defense because of just the level of talent at all levels on this defense, from the line to your secondary. Now quarterback is still a question. That's probably the biggest weak link. But as far as safety play, as far as that front seven, there's literally no weaknesses. B&B, Bray, the local meteorologist. First, I need to know what the weather's looking like, and then I need to know, who's going to have the best return performance of guys who were not available either in the preseason or missed a significant amount of time last year.
Well, weather is the game won't start till 7:55 Central Standard Time. And then secondly, the person who I can't wait to see is Lil Kiki. Will
he be doing the South Side?
Lil Kiki will hit the South. If he knows about he probably knows about the South Side, but I want him to hit the South Side. Now, and then you go ahead and add Deontay Foreman, and they can, pair up, hit the South Side together. You never know.
I don't want Deontay hit no South Side till that ankle is 115%, and even then, I'm gonna still be questionable about that till you look. Oh man, okay, but I appreciate that. Now, something I want to talk about. Briefly, we're talking about injuries and talking about guys who are relatively healthy. Now, I know a lot of people were super high on the Kayvon Webster pickup, okay? And it was something I noticed early on, something I've mentioned several times on stream. So, this guy had an Achilles injury after Deontay Foreman had an Achilles injury. People are still really excited about what is this guy going to do? What is he going to bring? He's not even available, as far as I've seen, that he's not even going to be available for Sunday. And it's an Achilles injury. It's still an Achilles situation. So that's what I'm extremely questioning. He's questionable, but I'm extremely concerned about this pickup. Again, we've talked about other guys, other talent that's been out there. Do they think that they can maybe get somebody for cheap that they can hope that'll be a benefit maybe a little bit later in the year, or what it is? Because if it's taking a guy like Deontay a little bit longer to get the Achilles right, why would you go after another guy again who had a longer term situation, who was hurt almost more than a month after? Kind of similar to the situation we're seeing now with Watson and Wentz, when everybody's talking about Wentz is going to be ready to go and, oh, it's amazing, look at his recovery. Oh, but I don't know about Watson. I don't know if he's a running quarterback, so I don't know if you see Watson been out the brace for months since what May, June or something like that, maybe July, I don't even know. They've been out of his brace for months, and Wentz still out there running around with the Forrest Gump legs, and they talking about he going to be ready for, game one. Now we see that it's going to be several more weeks before he gets some action. But concerning that, how do you feel about the Kayvon Webster pickup at this point in time? I mean, is he going to be able to be an asset for us? Or do you think it's just a temporary situation? And we'll start with Bray, and we'll kind of go from there, considering that cornerback depth is a problem.
Granted, it's an Achilles re-up. Apparently, when he came and he started practicing, he messed up his Achilles a bit a couple of days ago, and this is just not coming out because it's a problem. But as far as I know, he has been cleared by multiple doctors to be able to go back to football, 11-on-11 drills, which is what Wentz can't do right now. Which is why his ass is running on the field back and forth no matter what, acting like he is coming back. He's not coming back for another 5 weeks possibly. But Kayvon Webster, it's a it's a low risk type of signing. Granted, this is $2 million, but it's $2 million with incentives. So he's only getting $900 guaranteed of it. Hopefully he can pan out to what they want him to be, and hopefully he can, help the depth of the secondary. But as of right now, the Kayvon Webster, signing is kind of looking on the bad side of things. Hopefully it's not a bad side of things, because we need all the help we can get at the cornerback position.
I can agree with that. We definitely we need as many corners. I mean, like I said, I know K-Joe going to hold it down because, he is, Dion reincarnated. But, we do need some other help. J-Joe might need a little help on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Colvin might need a little help. I ain't worried about my dog K-Joe. Concussion, it just knocked his brain back into place, so he going to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Hector, your thoughts? Your thoughts, man, on the Webster situation.
I would still say there was better corners out there that you could have gone for, but he's just a depth guy. That's all I really have on that.
Okay. With some of the stuff we've been having going on, depth concerns me also though, because like I say, we've seen how fast we can start running through positions on this team. But I still want to have faith in the strength and conditioning coordinator. So we'll see what happens. Tenny, your thoughts on the Webster side, and is it in hindsight at this point? Does it look like a bad move?
Yeah, pull it from Rocky. If he dies, he dies. So fuck it. If his Achilles is good to go, it's good to go. But if his shit breaks again, oh well. We ain't invest a whole lot in his ass.
Okay. Wise, your thoughts?
So people get mad at me when I say the Texans make questionable decisions, and that's what I'll talk about. The Texans make questionable decisions. Why would you get a guy with a messed up Achilles when you have Rashad Breeland out there, you have Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie that was out there a couple of weeks ago, and you got all these veteran guys that have experience starting and have excelled at the cornerback position. And all you have to do is pay him a 1-year contract, maybe $5 million, $4 million, something like that. They'll surely want to come play with Honey Badger and J.J. Watt or Jadeveon Clowney and guys like that, especially with Deshaun Watson as the leader of this team right now. But the Texans don't want to take advantage of this opportunity. So, if we do wind up having a good season, hey, we have a good season. But if we have a bad season, it's because we do make a lot of questionable calls in this organization, especially in the front office position.
Okay. Wink, your thoughts on the Webster situation, and is it looking like again in hindsight, is it looking like a bad move, a freak situation, or should they be looking elsewhere to try to take care of that situation?
He never should have been picked up from the get-go. And Achilles, it's already bad enough. We have a good player who could end up being great in Deontay Foreman, and we could very well use him. And depending on the situation, how the O-line plays and other things like that, the running back situation, it could be good or it could be bad or it could just be right where you need it to be until he comes back. But at corner, we couldn't afford any ill wills, and we could not afford roster mistakes at that position because it's so fucking pathetic. Like, if we being real, like, we didn't see. I mean, yeah, we seen some clips of Jonathan Joseph, and at times it looked like he was getting smoked and this like that. But honestly, I can't fault shit that I seen happen to him with Will Fuller and shit like that. He's too fucking quick for anybody in the league. If he can do that to Sherman, why the hell do I think that? Why am I to think Jonathan Joseph's safe? You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's a lot older. So, you know, I take shit. I took shit like that with a grain of salt, and I didn't freak out when I saw it. But corner is so concerning to me, man, because and just seeing the way that the backups played and Wade Colvin and Kevin Johnson was putting himself at risk to make the plays. While I applaud his effort, we still need this man to play the game, you know. And the only reason why I'm not as I'm not really harping on the situation because first I gotta see it, and two, Romeo Cornell knows what he's doing, and thirdly, the pass rush is too fucking ferocious, and that's what they really gonna have to game plan. Game plan in the corners. If Brady gets off against these guys, then it's gonna be a long game for us. But it was a horrible move picking up Kayvon Webster to answer your question.
Okay. Spitz, I mean, you have any thoughts on the Kayvon Webster situation with him kind of re-injuring the Achilles? Is that going to be a long-term problem, or should the Texans have made another move from the jump?
I mean, to be honest, possibly, because like I've been saying from the jump when it comes to Foreman, Achilles is a tricky injury. Like, those are the type of injuries you kind of even much rather your player would have tore ACL than get tore Achilles because like, those are so hard to come back from. And especially from a corner when they do a lot of backpedaling, like most of the stands they got backpedaling because they have to cover the back. So, like, will he be productive? I don't know. Will he be able to come back and play healthy? I don't know. But I'm gonna try to take a vow this year not to get so worked up over the corners because I've worked myself up this whole summer, all throughout the off season behind these corners because they've done nothing. Absolutely nothing when they had the money and you had people available. I've said this hundreds of times. So that's why I'm more leaning towards they're probably going to rectify the corner position in the draft because they'll have a first and have 2 second-round picks. Maybe only have 1 because maybe they might move the second-round pick. We'll probably talk about that later. But they'll more likely use 1 of the 2 picks to draft a corner to help the secondary because as if this past season, they showed you that they're not going to spend any money off-season wise, especially this coming up off-season when we have Clowney and possibly Honey Badger we have to pay. So they're damn sure not going to do nothing for agency-wise. So they're definitely have to be in the draft to fix this cornerback position.
To add on what Spitz is saying, like, honestly, with this move, as bullshit as it is for us to even bring it, and then you cut a guy like Satchery just to bring him and put him on the squad. I see no reason why he shouldn't be elevated like right now.
Hey, honestly, about Satchery, heroes don't just show up day one. They come in like when the problem's getting at its worst to save the day. So Satchery will show up.
Shout out to that boy Tony Satchery. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm gonna say this: we can fix the corner problem in free agency. Bradley Roby, Ronald Darby, and a lot of other corners are out there that we know Philadelphia cannot pay everybody on their defense. And their secondary is deep enough with Jalen Mills and Sidney Jones the fourth to be able to substitute losing Ronald Darby. So that's one name you can look at.
But didn't the Texans prove to you this offseason that they're not about to spend money on corners?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they could have did this year. And then next year and this coming up offseason, we have Clowney and possibly Honey Badger. This past offseason, we had nobody to pay.
Okay, with $65 million in cap space, they can sign multiple people, not just Whitney. I mean, I'm tripping. But that's also one thing that we're talking about later.
That's another contract they have to work around too.
Clowney and Honey Badger is $65+ million. Bro, getting up into the $100 million. There's a way we can get those guys and also get Ronald Darby or Bradley Roby. Now, I'm saying this early. There's a couple of names in the draft that you hope they'll fall because they probably will be undervalued because of how deep the defensive line is. Grady, motherfucking me Williams,
Yep.
and DeAndre, motherfucking me Baker.
Yep.
Okay. Now give me just a brief pause here for just a second. I gotta take care of one thing. It'll be just one moment. We're gonna get on that because I actually want to talk a little bit more about the Clowney contract situation and how that's going to have some effects with some of the other things that's going on around the league. Just give me just a brief pause, and we'll be right back at it. Appreciate it. Brady Bloomfield has just joined Sauce Nation. You are the freshest motherfucking ingredient. And make sure y'all take this time to slide by StaySaucy.com and get some of that fresh-ass sauce merch. But we'll be right back. Give me about 30 seconds. All right. Yeah. Y'all were taken care of. So welcome back. I apologize for that slight pause. Chef Honcho with the pot. Apparently Braylon has some anger still residing inside. It's marinating. He just saw Matt Schaub and it had some flashbacks. So that's unfortunate. I understand how you feel. I don't know how, like I'm saying, how does Matt Schaub still have a job? But anyway, I kind of want to talk about briefly, they interviewed Clowney, and he was just discussing the fact that, hey, of course, I came in with those guys, Donald and Mac. They're getting paid. Of course, I want to get paid too. And his face did not seem to be thrilled. But then again, it could have been just a situation that, it's practice time. I'm not overly excited. I got other stuff on my mind also. But something we've been discussing. And I mean, let's take an honest look at it. He mentioned injuries. Injuries come and go. And I think he was a little bit dismissive of injuries because injuries are something serious that you have to take a look at. I mean, that is something that you have to account for, regardless if they are unfortunate, regardless if they are, kind of out of your control. It's something that people look at. If you're not available, your health is your wealth. We talk about that all the time. Then, you just can't be utilized. I forgot where we ended last time. I think, did we end on Spitz last time or did we end on Braylon last time? I think we ended with Spitz. Okay. So Spitz, we'll start with your thoughts, man. And I kind of want to know, it doesn't look like a contract is happening for Clowney anytime before the Patriots game. I mean, the NFL season is starting and should have been started now, but the rain delay, unless you just hear some kind of magic shit come out to Texas before this game gets kicked off. What is the situation looking like for Clowney at the end of this year? And what kind of payday do you see him? Do you see him getting paid on par with Mac or with Aaron Donald? If so, what do you see him getting paid? And if not, why doesn't he deserve that?
I think, to be honest, that he was offered the contract and he turned it down himself because I think he knows what he's worth. And I think they offered him something that he believed that he wasn't worth. And then seeing what Khalil Mack just got and seeing what Darnold got, he thinks he's going to have a monster season. I think he's going to play with that chip on the shoulder. He's going to play angry and aggressive, and he's going to have a double-digit sack season. He's going to be a Pro Bowl and All-Pro, first-team All-Pro. I think the last two times he's only been second-team. Be a first-team All-Pro and deserving of $100 million contract. Now, will he get one in Houston? That I don't know.
but I don't think they're going to let him walk. Like, if they can't get a deal done during the season, they will. They will. I mean, during the free agency period, they will franchise tag him at least for 1 year if they have to. And then we might see it. We might see a Khalil Mack version down here that we franchise tag him, and then we end up moving him for 2 first-round picks, something similar to that. Could happen next year.
Wink, your thoughts on the Clowney situation, man? How does it ultimately play out? I mean, how does it ultimately play out? I mean, you know, is a deal done at the end of this season? Is he franchise tagged? Does he walk? I mean, what happens in your mind?
I don't know, man. Brian Gaine is very fucking hard to read. Like, he's so hard to figure out. Like, I don't want to assume anything about this man because he could very well do some crazy shit like sign a bunch of bums, you know, the first few days in free agency and waste money, you know, give him suitable contracts, but at the end of the day, leave better talent on the table as well as he can do in the draft. But then he can sign somebody to, like Honey Badger, to a contract for a 1 year deal where he's making $4.5 million based and 2.5, you know, and the other, you know, other 2.5, you know, and some other crazy incentives or some shit like that. So it's either he is or he isn't. I don't see him getting paid during the season. I see him getting paid after the season because he's on his 5th year and his option is being utilized. So he's going to be able to make a decent amount of money this season. But I'm telling y'all right now, and I said it before in the video, with everything that's going on and that look that he had on his face, I'm just going to say it right now. Jadeveon Clowney is going to be Defensive Player of the Year this year. He will win it this year. I'm that confident. He's that talented, and the fact that he got the setback, recoup, you know, get through some things, see what the market is looking as, and his game has only been elevating. He's gotten more confident in each season. And last year, just seeing the confidence he had without any help was just phenomenal to me. So him with Merciless and all these other guys back, he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. It's going to be unanimous, and he's going to get fucking paid like a Defensive Player of the Year should be paid.
Okay. Wise, your thoughts, man, on the Clowney situation? What ultimately happens with JD? Does he get paid? If he does, is he in the same price range as Mack and Donald, or is he with the Texans? Is he franchise tag? I mean, there's a litany of things that could take place. I'd like to know your thoughts on that.
You can't tell with this Texans front office because this guy deserves to be paid. This guy comes out in the media and says, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take care of Jadeveon Clowney before the regular season." It didn't happen. So, like I said, these guys can make statements, but that don't mean they have to live by their statements and actually make actions. And they can talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk. So they're being very fraud right now. Jadeveon Clowney is a good player. I don't see why people hate Jadeveon Clowney. He's one of the best run stoppers in the league. He can set the edge. We definitely struggled with running backs running up the middle on us, running to the outside. But Jadeveon Clowney can clean it up. He lays some hits on players. He's been improving his pass rushing skills. He got 9.5 sacks. Guys act like these things are easy to get 9.5 sacks in the NFL. It's not easy to get 9.5 sacks in the NFL. So for guys to sit up there and say, "Oh, he's a number 1 pick. He should be doing this. He should be doing that." He's doing great, and he's only 24 years old. He's not even in his prime. So go ahead and pay this man now, so this man can develop in this offense and in this defense and become the leader of this team, because it's his throne to take over J.J. Watt for this defense and lead the team.
Okay. Now, here's my thing. I agree with you that Clowney is a good player. He's a very talented guy. Now, if we go by, you know, what Spitz said, and that an offer was made on the table early on, you know, and going by whatever numbers they may have thrown, who knows? Like I say, we'll never know. And he is gambling on himself. Is that on the Texans for not raising the stakes on the offer? I mean, there's only so much you can gamble, you know. Again, if you look at history, you know, we can't tell what's going to happen in the future. We can't speculate on that. And, I mean, if a reasonable offer, let's say $15 million a year was put on the table, I mean, is that disrespectful? I mean, like I said, we're playing with this pure speculation. If something like $15 million a year was put on the table, and we got to think about this is prior to Donald, Mack, or any of these guys getting paid. I mean, is that uncalled for?
Quick thing on that, Honcho. Every time that a Texans player went into a contract year and bet on themselves, they always ended up as the winner in the end. They always elevated to themselves. It's no player that has ever took that stance among themselves that didn't pan out and didn't become an even greater player and got a phenomenal contract to compensate their great play and continue to do so. And as far as the $15 million, if that is the case, say that's a round figure number, I'd say that was disrespectful. $15 million is not enough for a man with his talent. It's not. That's not enough.
You got to pay him more than DeMarcus Lawrence. You got to pay him more than DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence had one season with 14.5 sacks, and this guy got the franchise tag. So,
okay. Like I say, just knowing, like I say, but then at the end, we'll all see what happens. We'll see what pans out. Like I say, I'm rooting for Clowney because if he wins, shit, I win. Goddamn, you already know that. Tenny, your thoughts, man, on the Clowney situation? What ultimately happens? I mean, does he get paid? Is he franchise tag? Does he walk? I mean, what happens with Jadeveon Clowney when it's all a wrap?
When it's all a wrap, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I have been a supporter of his for a long time. I said it when people laughed at me and said that he wasn't going to get $100 million. The dude's well on his way to getting it, and I totally, wholly believe that this guy is going to have his best season to date this year. Everybody always fucking does it. It's almost written in the stars that if you humble yourself and you don't hold out, you don't do none of that shit, you just go straight into the season, you get paid. Now, whether the Texans are going to do it or somebody else is going to do it, I mean, it's all up in the air. We don't know who's going to do it, if we're going to do it or not. But Jadeveon Clowney is guaranteed $100+ million contract. So I mean, whether it be 120, whether it be 130, whether it be 140, whether it be $142 million contract, he's going to get it without a doubt. And this season is going to be the nail in that coffin.
I will say, I want to throw this out to everybody. If he got the exact same contract that J.J. Watt got the year he got paid, would anybody be mad?
Shit, I wouldn't be mad 1 minute because I thought that it was going to take a contract like that just to keep him and make him happy.
I mean, I think if he does have phenomenal, I mean, that's your baseline at the very least, in my opinion. But again, you got to look at some of the things, and again, you can take numbers, you can take historic figures, you can take a whole lot of things and try to use it as comparison. Because I'm thinking from the angle of the the organization, because the organization's job is to save as much money as they possibly can. Their job is to try to screw somebody over for as much as they can, but still get as maximum performance out of them as they can. Well, they'll be like, hey, well, JJ did this and JJ did that, and they'll look at other guys' health and their excuse me. They'll make a lot of different comparisons. So what I think it is going to take, it is going to take a much greater than average season out of Jadeveon. I mean, it's going to have to be a historic season for them to give him the money that he really wants. Otherwise, I do see the Texans end up, screwing him over, like honestly. And so, because like I say, it took JJ having some otherworldly seasons to get that type of paycheck. But Hector, your thoughts on Jadeveon Clowney, the contract situation, and what ultimately happens with it?
I'm really aggravated with Brian Gang because, I mean, that was the one thing that you talked about when you were doing your little press conference, that your priority was to get Jadeveon Clowney a deal, and obviously you still haven't made a deal. And the only reason why I thought he was telling me the truth was because that was his high priority, but clearly he didn't. But you know what? Clowney's going to go out and ball out. He's gonna show what he's worth, and I would not be shocked if he gets something similar to what J.J. Watt got.
Well, I gotta take my thing out. BNB, I need to know your thoughts, man. What happens to Jadeveon Clowney after the 2018 season? Is he getting paid? Is he leaving Houston? Is he getting franchised? I mean, what happens with Jadeveon Clowney?
His reaction today told me two things. He's mad that he's not getting paid and he's not getting $20+ million. And because of that, I believe he feels like this team and this GM don't want me. Now, okay, the longer this process has been through, and the longer that you see it's not happening this off season, it's not happening before the season. I feel like the Texans will be put in a position to have to franchise tag him again. And not only franchise tag him, he will not sign that franchise tender. I just feel like for some reason that he's like, okay, I didn't want to be here. The locker room situation is kind of iffy. It's not as close knit as he's like, because out of all the linebackers I see hanging out without the okay, so the linebackers core hang out with each other all the time. The defensive ends hang out with a lot of the time. He's always with he's not with either. You know, Reader and White and all them boys. Reader, White, Covington, and them, they're close. McKinney, Whitney Merciless, Cole, Scarlett, Dylan, Cunningham. I done mixed their names together, but Cunningham, they hanging out with each other. But I just don't see Clowney anywhere near them boys. I'm just saying. So, with him not being comfortable, I feel like it'll be in a position of they franchise tag him. And he doesn't come to agreement, but they won't release him because they're like, we need to at least get something for him. And it will come to a point to where we would have to trade him, like what the Raiders did with Khalil Mack.
Okay. Now here's the deal.
I just got a feeling.
Okay.
We know the real reason why he ain't getting paid because he wore the prison outfit to the Halloween party.
I forgot all about that. But here's the deal: we're gonna open up the Sauceline for a little bit, so make sure y'all call, get your drip on. But here's I'm gonna throw one up for the round table real quick. I mean, now let's play GM for just a second. Going into this year, prior to whatever, like I say, we don't know what he values himself at. We didn't know what the market was going to be set until, Mac and Donald got paid. Everything being everything, looking at his history, looking at the numbers he's put up, looking at the injury history, looking at everything involved. Do you pay Clowney $20 million a year going into this season?
Well, I don't think he would make $20 million right off the rip because the money's not going to end up rolling over until the season prior. Sure, he'll end up getting a hefty signing bonus, but I don't see him getting up towards that number in his first year on his contract. He'll probably make like 17, 18, and as the years fluctuate.
We got a call coming in. Let's open up the sauce line. Y'all active. What's the motherfucking deal? We got calling in on the sauce line this evening.
It's Voodoo. But breaking news. I just want to let you know, y'all going down to fantasy. Check on these. Have a good night.
Said that we're going down in fantasy. Okay, look, we going. I'm just telling you, look, it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna end up, at the end of the season, I'm just gonna show up on the stream like this. I'm just gonna look like this. I'm just the fist of a champion. That's all I'm gonna say at the end of the fantasy league. But here's the deal. Okay, like I say, Sauce Line is open. Y'all call in on the Sauce Line. Appreciate the call. But yeah, like we were saying, the playing guest GM. Do you put $20 million? Well, even obviously not counting because this year, he's still under contract. But prior to everything else that takes place, would you sign Clowney to a $20 million a year contract if you were the Texans GM? First, I apologize. I had the mute on, so my bad on that. Players fuck up. Wise, your reply and intending your response again, if you don't mind. Hold on. First we got a call covered in, then we'll get back to that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line?
It's your boy YB.
Already. What kind of sauce you want to splash on the line tonight?
And I just want to know, man, like, I just want to know your thoughts, man, on this game coming up. What say, like, if Houston was to lose the game, man, do y'all think Bill O'Brien should be fired? I think he should, man, if you were to lose it, because, like, we have all this talent on this team, man. There's really no more excuses. We got receivers, defense. We got Romeo Pino back in charge of the defense, man. Like, got everything going for us. I just want to know your thoughts and opinions on that, man.
Okay. Good call, good question. I'm going to hang up on you. We're going to definitely talk about that. I appreciate you calling in. Not my fault. Man, I think that's interesting. I wouldn't jump the gun and say fire him after one game, but you definitely start tightening up that leash. You know what I'm saying? You kind of, yank it a little bit. You got to make sure let him know that it's a little tighter than it was at the beginning of the year, because I agree with you. Hold on, we got another call coming in, but we're gonna definitely jump on that thought. That's a good one. What's the motherfucking deal, Joshua? What kind of sauce you want to splash on the line tonight?
Hey, man, I just want to say shout out to the roundtable. Y'all having a great show again. I said, my bad, I've been going back and forth. I had to educate this boy how Mike Vrabel was ass last year, but he won't listen, but it's all right. So pretty much all around today, people been saying what y'all, 2 Super Bowl picks, like AFC and NFC, who's going to win it all. So I just want to know who the roundtable picks to win the entire NFL next year, to win Super Bowl next year. I ain't good.
I appreciate you calling in. All right, in the Super Bowl picks. Bet that. Also, man, shout out to Joshua, man. Joshua, look, if somebody trying to argue with you about Mike Vrabel, just delete their number, hang up on them, block them. Just don't even waste your time. If they really gonna try to validate a situation like that, just don't even waste your time. It ain't even worth the energy. You know what I'm saying? Just fuck them. I want to finish that last point, and then we'll do the thoughts on Super Bowl picks. And first, we got another call coming in. Hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the Sauceline this evening? Oh, they hung up. All right. Yeah, just say, well, fuck y'all too then. Yeah. Man, so back to the first question, man. They were saying
I was listening to the Star Spangled Banner for a second. Yeah. I thought they was about to sing Silent Night how long that nigga went on that hoe.
Oh my God, that's one. Yeah.
What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the South Line? Hello, 10-4. Yeah, keep your adult viewing habits to yourself. We don't need that sauce. I don't know what was going on over there, but it sounded like some other shit going on. Some unnecessary tomfoolery. Look, somebody over there watching X videos want to share their love of the adult film footage with the rest of the world. I guess I don't know. But we're talking about if B.O.B. loses to the Patriots, should he be fired? Or what are your thoughts? How do y'all feel that situation should be handled?
It ain't gonna happen like that.
That's a little premature.
I'm the biggest detractor of Bill O'Brien, and I wouldn't do that. Like, it's not enough time.
It's you know what that does to a team. Once you fire the head coach, the team just, all right, we'll see everybody next year kind of mood.
Right.
You've already had the co-signer from Deshaun Watson, so I think that entitles him to a whole season or whatever. Because when all the rumors were going on last year and the articles were coming out, we saw Deshaun Watson, tweeting and in the gram and all that other stuff, saying that he wanted to be with Bill O'Brien. So I think you come in, you do a situation like that early on. I think
Clowney did
the
too.
Entire team.
Clowney held him down too with a few other players. You know what I'm saying? I love him as a player's coach. He's the perfect coach for the players in terms of getting them hype and shit like that. And I think he has a close relationship with the players. It's in terms of making decisions and developing players on the offense that and calls and how he manages the games, which baffles me, but that's y'all already know how I feel about that.
Now you touching on it right, Wink, because
what's the motherfucking deal, Chandler? What kind of sauce you want to spill on the sauce line this evening?
What's up, Honcho? How you doing?
All good.
It's a round table. I got a question for a roundtable. Is that here's the thing, like do you think that we should bring back Akeem Hunt, and also if I'm predicting the score. I'm saying it's gonna be around like 21 to 35. So if we win this game on Sunday, does that mean if we win, basically we're gonna go undefeated, and I was just asking for y'all's opinions. So that's it.
Okay. Man, I appreciate you calling in, Chandler, holding down the Sauceline, man. Definitely, we're gonna answer that.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's a good one. I forgot about the Akeem Hunt situation because I did definitely want to talk on that. But we're gonna this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it. We're gonna talk on a couple of things, and then we probably might shut the Sauceline down a little bit early because it is game time. I know folks want to watch the game. It's going to get booted up. But I want to answer these last couple of questions. If you got any calls or texts, make sure you get them in pretty quick. Probably cut it off in the next 5 minutes. So if you don't get your input in by the end, we'll answer everything after that. We were talking about if B.O.B. loses, should he be fired? We kind of come to consider that's a little bit premature. That's not the move we want to make. And I agree with you. It was something that he was saying, though, too. Again, we talked about I'm hoping B.O.B. has had a situation similar to what it took from Kubiak to go to Baltimore to kind of get his act together. Because, a lot of players who were ex-Texans who went with him to Baltimore said that when he got there, he saw a different style. He kind of had made some changes because, he used to be real strict and try to play this whole perfectionist thing and running the same play over and over, trying to perfect things. But they said when he got there, he adapted, he adjusted, and he kind of became a little bit it could have been the damn heart attack shit too, but that he wasn't as stringent, that he became a little bit more of a player's coach. He kind of started relating to guys more, started letting guys kind of have their input into the situation. And what I think is that B.O.B. has been in a situation so far where he's had to be so hands-on with every single thing that's going on. I mean, come on, this is a guy that made that, Hackenberg look like he was a draftable guy. So you give him some little bit of credit. But I think DW4 and his personality is just as the leader that he is, as the player that he is, has made him realize, okay, everything can't be all the way by the book. He came out and said, he's like, man, I've learned a lot of stuff myself. He's like, I looked at a bunch of my mistakes last year. I've looked at my mistakes over the years, and that I have to make some changes, that I have to have a change in coaching style. And to me, like I said, it was an interview that he did a while back, and I forgot who else said they heard him. I think it was Wise that said he heard him when he was talking about some of the books and things that he read. I think he was on 610 or something like that, but he was talking about just kind of his personality, and that's why I say that's what kind of makes you gravitate towards him, because the way he seems to think, he seems like a guy who's trying to improve constantly, not necessarily just be a fucking stickler. But again, I agree with you on that. Some of the calls that are made, some of the late game decisions that are made, those are big problems. But if you can adjust those things and not make them as frequently, then I think you have a guy who can make these guys go out and play well for him. We had a question about Super Bowl picks. We'll answer that one last. And then Akeem Hunt came back through recently, and he was the Texans entertained a visit with him. What do you guys honestly feel like the chances are that Akeem Hunt is back with the Texans?
I think Kareem Hunt coming back, man. It would be great to have Kareem back on this team because, I mean, I trust him more than fucking Irvin.
Yeah. I think you got to.
Yeah, I feel the same.
What's
way.
with cutting him up?
Akeem Hunt should have never left this team. If they put him on special teams, I definitely am going to get excited, because when he would return the ball and when this man would touch the ball, and him having a quarterback like Deshaun Watson is going to be crazy. We've been saying this, so if this man get back on the team and they actually make a spot for him and free up Tyler Ervin or whatever other options they have, that's going to be a great move for the Texans.
Okay.
Yeah, I absolutely like both of the guys they worked out today. I like Chris Sims as well. Chris Sims is a guy that had experience in Tampa Bay. he did get he did do an average kind of job back there. He's better than Tyler Ervin. Anybody's better than Tyler Ervin. As long as we can get rid of Tyler Ervin, I'll be happy because Akeem Hunt is more explosive than Tyler Ervin, and you know that Tyler Ervin's going to get injured within the first 3 games. I already said that today in my live stream earlier. So by week 3, by the Giants, expect Tyler Ervin to be out.
Hey, yo, okay, I'm sorry. I'm First off, I know people has kind of probably been talking about me in this stream because I just burst out dying laughing. It was a combination. This is me just trying to say. It was a combination of Julio Jones stiff arming the fuck out that dude. And then second of all, when I heard Tenny say Kareem, I just couldn't hold myself, bro. I'm sorry, Tenny. Tenny was like, when we get Kareem Hunt, he was so
yeah, calm down. Akeem and Kareem, it's all the same.
That's racist. That's racist.
It's just different letters. It's just different letters. Damn it.
Also, this green zone is so damn stupid on the damn field.
It probably is.
All right. Oh, quick note. For those who are interested in some of our ex-Texans, and I know that you guys loved it. He was a staple of this team for so many years. One Xavier Su'a-Filo, I think is getting a tryout with the Cowboys. I hope they pick him up. I hope he is. Sound like the Cowboys just having a bad deal. It just seemed like it's some bad business going on over there. We got a couple other texts coming in, and then we'll jump on the Super Bowl picks here. Jay Dizzle sent, he says, this is a repost. I did. I missed it when you sent it the other day. He says, y'all talking like B.O.B. been head coach for more than 5 years. He's still learning, too. He tried to give the reins to how many other QBs, and it most definitely didn't work out. He got burned more than enough times at that position. He's still learning what is possible when your QB can really make plays instead of throwing the game away. Yeah, and I think, like I say, it takes every great coach, if it's basketball, football, I'm not putting him as a great coach yet, so don't nobody try to take it and run with it. You have to have that great player with it. What coach has really just done it consistently without having an all-time special player? Phil Jackson, everybody gives him all the credit in the world, but he ain't never done shit without having one of the best players in the league at that time. You look back at Belichick, he's had Tom Brady's going down as the GOAT, you know what I mean? A lot of these guys that, again, they didn't do it without having special players. And, again, we did have some trash cans out there. I mean, some literal fucking trash cans. I mean, you see where some of these guys go and what they do after they leave here. We've seen Assweiler fucking – what has he done? Done nothing.
He's on the Dolphins right now.
Yeah, fucking got beat out by Kaiser in the game.
I'm not willing – I can't act like the man's coaching style has not hindered the team for years. Like, I'm not willing to sit here and say that.
It's just
moves. It's not even necessarily the guys. It's not even so much the talent, because the fact that we were even able to win 9 games for 3 years consistently with bullshit quarterbacks, and honestly, we could have been 11-5 2 of those 3 seasons was ridiculous. I mean, a couple of things go our way in a couple of games. A couple of calls are made. You know, we win the game.
Look, I can say this. This year is a red or a hot seat year for me with Bill O'Brien. But the thing that I'm holding on to with him was going into that Seattle game. He had so much adversity he had to face with keeping that team together, with the shit that started. Like, that's when McNair started. That's when he started with his bullshit. So from then to now and going into that game, Bill O'Brien, man, like cool as can be, fucking walked into a rough environment, took his offense in there, scored a fucking bunch, fucked up at the end of the game. I give anybody that argues that, yeah. But at the end of the day, I think that's the turning point for him. I think that's where he starts to let go of the old Bill, and he's got a shot at becoming a new person. He's got a shot at taking this offense the way he's talked about it in the offseason and making it into something of its own. And if he's really on that path, I'm going to be very happy that I hung in there with him. But at the end of the season, if I'm looking at 9-7 or 8-8, I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be upset just like everybody else should be.
Well, hopefully he figures it out, because I don't want this to be a situation where we got a guy like Marvin Lewis and we just stuck with the guy for years and years, and we're just going 9-7, and we're just getting out of the playoffs in the first round every year, because I'm tired of that shit.
if we had a situation like that and we handcuffed Bill O'Brien and he stays in the same current state he's been in seasons past, and we kept him for like 7 to 8 years, I'm done with this franchise because they don't know what it takes to win. I would be completely done with them.
That's like the Cowboys with Jason Garrett as well. They doing the same thing, hanging on.
Yeah, but you know something, man. We really got a good look at what McNair is like during this whole off season, during last season. I mean, there is some times where we felt like Wink would say the organization didn't know what they were doing, but then now we know what the hell he's about. You know, not just constantly voting for fucking Republicans and donating to them. He fucking got upset because the players were happy that Baraka got elected. And he got upset with the fact that he thinks that the prisoners are running the prison and shit like that. And then he just wouldn't shut up. He had word vomit every fucking time. And you know what? His word vomit turned into just blatant ass fucking racism when you really dig at it and you look at it and you examine it through a smart man's eye. So, I mean, we know what the hell anybody's been dealing with lately, and we know what kind of yes man Rick Smith was. So there's a whole new face to this organization that we never had an idea about.
Hey, at least Bill O'Brien is not stupid enough to have D-Hop off the field on all 4 plays in the red zone. Just saying.
Here's my thing with McNair, though.
Shot to the Falcons.
Beef with McNair is this. Everybody's entitled to feel however the fuck you want to feel. You know,
right?
Everybody's. But my thing was the vacillating back and forth. First, you say one thing, then you apologize for it. Then you talk about I shouldn't apologize. Make your fucking mind up. Stick to it. Be who you gonna be. Because you keep you keep restirring the shit up, and that's the thing that to me, Bob McNair had more controversy in that little couple of weeks, months, whatever, than at any other point on this team, other than Brian Cushing with some PEDs or some shit. Like, when has there really ever been a problem on this Texans team?
In our 17-year period, literally.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, other than that, the Texans they're never in the news. It ain't never no issues about nobody getting. Strong had a little situation, but they ain't even talk about that because he really wasn't anybody to be talking about. But Bob McNair was it's on ESPN. It's in all the papers. Everybody talking about it. It's getting spread all around. He's been the biggest issue of all the time that the Texans have been in existence. He's caused the most ruckus out of anybody. And that's my thing. So for you to try to hold people to this standard, for you to try to say, oh, we got to be this, and you're the person who's put the biggest stain on your own brand compared to anybody. And then what kills me is how people try to use the one time that the Texans took a knee to try to make it seem like, oh, they were protesting the flag and doing all that. They were protesting Bob McNair, but they use that picture like I see it all over. All these players who've been protesting. Man, they use that picture out of context. They kneeled one time. The only time that the Texans ever kneeled, and that was in protest of Bob McNair. But people used it like they were using that to
this protest. How shitty and this is how the fickle fans were. When we did that, I saw Houston Texans fans saying, I hope dudes out here tear their knees and shit up. I saw that with my own eyes. So it's so easy. It's so easy that people suffering, people dying, not even just from the cops, but just like period, just at the rate that we're killed in this country, people are comfortable with that. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you try to cover the shit up because you're not saying you're not doing anything about it. You're comfortable as fuck about niggas dying. Period. I don't care how you say it.
You sit here worrying about a grown-ass man kneeling on motherfucking grass. And you all upset about that, but you can't bat a fucking eye when this the one that gets me the most. Tamir Rice fucking shot and killed fucking 13-year-old boy playing with a motherfucking BB gun. When I was motherfucking 10, 11, 12, 13, I was playing with BB guns. The fuck, man? Like, you can't just I'm sorry. I gotta calm down.
I feel you, bro.
Hey, the best meme that I've seen with this past couple of days says all the people out there want to throw away. Won't you give them to the homeless veterans that y'all pretend y'all care so much about?
No, man, but we already know what that is. Like, again, that's and this is what Kim. Like I say, I talk about. I talk about everybody. People just want attention. When it's some free attention getting thrown around, and look, I give it. Well, people are mad about this. Let me get some of this attention because people over here getting stirred up. Man, here's my feel. If I'm not going to protest shit. But if I'm going to be mad or burn or boycott some shit, I'm going to throw the shit away. I'm not going to record the shit. It's going to take me too much time to do all that. Hey, here's my trash can. Bam, I'm throwing the shit away. Or I ain't fuck with, hey, man, you fuck with this? Hey, here you go. It is what it is. But again, people are out there craving attention in any way that they can get. And that's why I say it's society. It encompasses everyone, not just one particular side. Everybody looking for the free attention just to say that they doing some shit.
All you do is highlight your own stupidity and bias that people already knew about you anyway. When people do shit the way that they do it, especially when racists and say the shit that they say, who's really surprised? But people who don't believe they're racist. Like, let's just be real. Like, okay, all right, you try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not going to argue against a person and make excuses for somebody who shows me who they are. I'm just not.
The worst part of it all is they're hiding behind the military. Like, I'm like,
I hate that, bro.
Stop using us. Like, we don't care,
bro. We don't.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I did see a situation.
I'm about to tell you that one of the truest things
saying their thing, but I seen the dude today, and this is what killed me. Because he basically was talking about a unit that he was in. He's talking about, basically everybody got killed. And he said that he speaks for everybody in that unit. I'm like, man, that's, to me, seems more disrespectful to say that you speak for a bunch of dead men who aren't here to voice their own opinions and say that, you basically represent all of them. I think that's a little bit too far. But again, like I said, everybody's entitled to their own thoughts, own opinion. My job ain't to change nobody's feelings. I know how I'm going to live my life. I know how I'm approach. But
Hector was finna say
if
something.
they are stupid.
Go ahead. What was that, Hector?
All I'm gonna say is, hoes, Nike hoes, Nike hoes, Nike hoes.
Hector was finna say something.
Before what was you gonna make a point on?
Okay, so here's the little patriotism about the military, and I'm sure Wink knows a little bit about this. Yeah, so there's a certain time during the day where they put down and take down the flag that to like a little ceremonious thing.
Yes.
And they actually notify you when they're about to play, because when they play it, you have to stop whatever you're doing, go towards whatever direction the flag is at, and you're supposed to salute if you're in uniform. If you're not in uniform, then you just stand there at attention. Most of us
6:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, at every single post wide.
None of us wanted to do it, and you would just see, as soon as you hear the little warning, it's like the purge. We're all running inside because we're like, hell no.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I've seen Sergeant Majors do it.
Shame on y'all.
I seen Sergeant Majors do it. I've seen colonels do it. I've seen generals do it. I've seen fucking sergeant first classes do it. We talk, and we ain't even gonna get on the low enlisted soldier. We don't give a fuck. We don't care. We join. Let's just be real. Niggas ain't joining the military to go fight wars. Niggas is joining the military because they want to fucking get out of the situation they in. They need a steady paycheck on the 1st and the 15th. Motherfuckers is trying to travel. Motherfuckers is trying to go to school. Motherfuckers not trying to die on the street. So at the end of the day, they join the military as a means to an end, make the best of their situation, just like I did, and I'm benefiting way more out of the military than I ever benefited inside the military. The military is not all of that. You don't get paid. You risk your life. You waste a bunch of fucking time. Grown people waste your time in the military like it's no tomorrow. Believe what you want to believe, and the people that are the worst, or the people who didn't serve in the military and try to talk about somebody else's experience in the military and who they respect in the military, but your bitch ass ain't part of the 5% who actually served or serves right now. So you can shut the fuck up and get off a dick and take advice from the real people who serve, who giving you the real notion.
We doing?
Tell us how you really feel.
That shit pissed me off, bro. I don't like shit like that.
Scotty booking the system over here now.
I don't like
the spouses are like way worse.
Yeah,
man,
they are, bro.
How many sergeants' wives had to come up to me and tell me that I'm supposed to stand at a certain way in front of her because her husband's a sergeant? I'm like, bitch, you ain't a sergeant.
Exactly, bitch.
Get out of my face. Like I said, I ain't a military person, but I have noticed it seems like that people who are family of the military, like I said, I don't know if it's a different perception or something like that they have, but they take it a lot further than I've seen, actual members of the military. But again, I think it's when you actually have that experience, it's a different vibe. But here's the deal, because really it's fuck all y'all, because y'all been low-key being able to see the game. The way I'm situated in position, I ain't seen shit. I just know Julio getting me some fucking fantasy points.
Shoot, my TV's like right there.
I'm just saying, I want to see some of the goddamn games. I fuck with y'all, but goddamn, I want to see some of the motherfucking game too. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Look,
shout out to everybody who really lived in the military and willing to tell the truth about the military. I ain't willing to hide shit about this so-called military that they claim to take care of people and shit like that, but then they want to turn you down for your VA benefit. It's a lot of shady ass shit that the military do that y'all don't fucking know about. You don't know shit. If you ain't in the military, you can't tell me shit about the military. Period.
Oh, Berkeley,
period.
You got the plug on the houses, Berkeley? Okay, look. Let me see what's good. But kid, because I don't want to have to put y'all on fucking Friday, man. Y'all got anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
And man, look, man, just appreciate everybody who came through. I want to watch this. I want to get off of this phone so I can fucking look at my fantasy points real quick because y'all bullshit.
Shit, bro, Julio going off, but you know what? They won't put him in the red zone. Oh shit, he had not played one red zone snap.
No. They pulling a Kubiak.
Not one.
Man, I just want to say shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the chat. Fucking Texans Saints Super Bowl. That's my pick.
Oh yeah.
We forgot all about.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna say this one thing. My pick to start off was the Philadelphia Eagles, but then Julio started cooking their ass. So I was like, I'm gonna switch to Atlanta because Atlanta, Houston, that shit is probably gonna be crazy off the hook. It's gonna be in Atlanta. But then they fucked up and did that, so I'm gonna just go ahead and go Texans Packers.
Okay.
And it's gonna be kind of awkward for me now. I'm actually gonna go with the Saints, and I kind of want to go with the Chargers, but I'm gonna go with the Texans.
We doing Super Bowl picks?
Yeah.
Vikings. Fuck it. Vikings, Texans. Fuck it. Like, we going all out. Fuck it then. Vikings, Texans. Vikings, fucking Texans. Let's get it, bro. Let's go.
I was about to ask, is it Vikings or some shit?
Nah, Vikings, Texans. Let's go. Fuck that shit.
Braylon over here thinking that like Aaron Rodgers is single-handedly going to take the Packers to the Super Bowl.
Hey, no, bro. Oh, okay. My
they
bad.
They got a phenomenal team, though. Heck, they're like they
really
good
right
now.
I'm about to go on my Stephen A. real quick. This is blasphemy. It's not just the best player, the baddest man of all time.
You know what? Let me piss him off real quick. Hey, Berlin, U of H, Clear Lake over Georgia all day.
Texas overrated this shit.
Yeah. Sauce Nation, how y'all feel about that? Y'all know that we got a Georgia fan in the motherfucking chat.
Bro,
from Texas.
Apparently.
Georgia. I can somebody understand, we got some Sauce Nation members who fuck with Deshaun and stuff like that. That's justifiable if you're from the area. You know what I'm saying? But we talk about this nigga here from Texas. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in the greater Houston area.
Nigga raised from
Georgia
Detroit.
is my squad. Yeah. Georgia on my mind, ass dude. Come on,
yeah.
Bro, listen, bro.
Georgia.
Listen, bro.
Unless your pops is a Georgia fan, that's the only way I can understand that.
Listen, bro. The first time I ever watched football was a college football game, and it was Georgia in a national championship game. They lost that motherfucker. But
and
you probably was messing around watching Greens Point.
But then the following season, I saw Todd Gurley ass, and he was amazing.
How long ago was your first college football game?
It had to be.
I'm saying my first college football game.
Baby.
And then I go back in history and I see UT. UT ain't got more championship in 30 years. Tell me that.
17,
this
18,
young man,
like
he just got out of primary. Look at this guy.
Bro.
You got a little Similac right there, breaking news, Brandon. You know what I'm saying?
Right there on your phone.
Just right there. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's why Brandon be getting tired towards we start getting late in the stream. You know what I'm saying? You got to get put down for his nap, that young man.
My most recent USC memory was back when Carson Palmer was the quarterback. But dang, dude. You talking about Todd Gurley.
I love college football because Todd Gurley was a motherfucking killer. They couldn't stop us. So they had to tear his ACL.
Well, that's the only one you saw.
But
so I started watching college football last year. But anyway, here's the deal, man.
I'm sorry. I gotta say this one thing. How you the best football program in the country with one championship in the last 30 years? One national championship in the last 30 years, and you the best football program in the country.
Because we ain't Georgia.
How many championships did Georgia have?
You know what Braylon sound like when he said that? He sound like old buddy off of
Tell me how you the best.
How you do that old bitch ass nigga?
hey, you know what? I want to point out something.
Your bitch ass nigga.
Damn, it ain't.
I want to point out something, Braylon. Braylon, didn't Matt Schaub come from Georgia? Didn't Matt Schaub come from Georgia? Isn't he a product of y'all?
Nah, he went to Virginia.
Is he Virginia? Was he Hoagie?
Nah, bro. Don't ever put Matt Schaub in Georgia. Nah, the only Georgia team he played for was the Atlanta Falcons when he was the backup. Now leave me alone.
Yeah.
Georgia.
Hey, Matt Schaub was a gangster.
Running back.
Hey, Braylon, how y'all gonna make it to y'all's only national championship game ever and still lose that bitch?
Bro, the only reason why you won national championship was because of
losing to Bama. That shit was disgusting. Like that shit.
They lost to Bama. What you supposed to do?
The way they lost,
but they lost. But that was with Garrett Gilbert. Was that Garrett Gilbert's year when Colt McCoy went down? His daddy would let him play something like that. But anyway, look, we finna wrap this shit up, goddamn. Y'all, everybody watching the game, seeing highlights of the squad and shit. Look, I'm trying to motherfucking see what's it. But shout out to Sauce Nation. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the round table holding down. We'll be back. You know what I'm saying? Because breaking news, Braylon he done broke the sauce tonight. He done dried all the sauce up with this Georgia nonsense. I don't know what to think right now. We got to look at his what they said his sauce credentials right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what's going on. I gotta see what's going on.
My favorite player in college football right now is Ed Oliver. You can't say that man not a monster.
Oh man,
we know that.
I've been
Braylon, the first person I ever met that's born in the 2000s.
Like 2000.
With that being said, man, Sauce Nation, we appreciate y'all.
Y'all just go.
Y'all
Okay.
be cool like y'all be cool.
Okay.
We gonna chug up the dudes. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Y'all stay sauce. We be back at it tomorrow, 7 o'clock, man. Make sure y'all tuned in. With that being said, we chugging up a deuce, and we out.